going on, guys? Back working on the HEMI swap Jeep Renegade. In this episode, we're going to focus on a couple main things: the steering and the battery. In order to get the steering situated, we're going to have to modify the factory Dodge Charger steering column, fabricate some brackets, and make a dashboard to mount everything too. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So, I've been struggling with the steering column. I've been fighting it off and on for the past week or so. Not really making any headway, but today I went ahead, just started cutting things apart, going at it, and I think I got a solution. The main issue was, this is the adjustable, here's your tilt slide mechanism that held the Charger steering column, but it's way too big, sticks out past the dash too far. So went ahead, started chopping it apart, seeing what I can do. Can't really salvage it at all, can't modify it too much. So what I ended up doing, taking this sleeve, this is actually the steering shaft. It goes inside, floats on a bearing on this end. I still have to press this bearing into here. So this shaft floats in this sleeve. So went ahead, plasma cut this plate out, bent it up. It'll be a pretty good temporary mount for right now. May even be permanent, who knows, but it'll be a good base to build off of. I also had to section this side of the steering shaft. This is what allows for the adjustable steering wheel moving in and out away from the dash and whatnot. Slides up inside this column. It correlates with these grooves. But once I cut this shorter, 2 1/8 inch, I also had to cut 2 1/8 inch section out of here. I'm pretty confident all this is going to work. I know this is the steering. You definitely don't want to take any shortcuts. That's why it took me a little while to figure out. I didn't want to put myself or anyone else on the road at risk, because this is the one thing that, secures me to the car. Now I just got to mock this up. I drew this up in CAD, so I already have a good idea where it's going. Oh, yeah, right in there. So once I figure out where it's going to go here, I got to build a bar going across, supports coming from that bar, catching that, and we'll be one step closer to getting this thing on the road. Alright, so whipped up a quick dash bar. Nothing crazy, just straight piece of 1.5 DOM coming across to some angle. Now, steering wheel is in a really good location for me. I know I'm going to be the only one driving, so that's really all that matters. So, need to go ahead. I'm not sure if this is going to be permanent bracket. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt, it works. So I'll just have to come off of here, join up to this bar, triangulate it a little bit. There's not a whole lot of room to work with, but yeah, I got to put some gussets and whatnot, make it as strong as possible. So, we don't have any side-to-side play. Up and down, I don't know, if hard to get a good wide angle in here, but up and down is pretty much perfect for me. I'm sitting in a good location, seat-wise. I'm pretty happy with this. Feels weird only doing 2 pedals. We got room for a third, though. Redesigned the bracket a little bit. Went ahead, added some bolt holes here. That way, I can adjust it eventually if I do need to. Add some spacers here, drop the steering wheel down. Although it is still at a pretty good angle. Couldn't get too much movement out of here, but oh yeah, I also whipped up this bracket here, coming off of the dash bar. Should hold it pretty sturdy. I mean, it's just tacked with a couple bolts in there, not even finger tight. And this thing is stout. So I think once all this is solid welded to that bar, I think these are 10 mil bolts, I think it'll be super sturdy. Perfect placement. It's going to be a compromise because the Charger firewall is shifted, to the driver's side a little bit, and the Renegade dash is going to be closer to the middle, as far as the gauges or whatever, but I'm not too worried about it. It's going to be as close as I can get it. Everything on this build is going to be a compromise, so that's not too bad. So I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on the bench. Just the cart with plywood on top. Really need to get a welding bench in here. But finish welding this up. I could redesign the brackets for those. Messed up on my measurements, but we'll get those sorted out later. Not too important right now. But I want to get the steering sorted. Oh yeah, that's solid. So, gonna go ahead, pull this apart, throw it up on the bench, weld that up, then toss it back in. So the steering column support's all welded up, nice and cooled. Welds turned out pretty damn good. Anyway, guess we'll go ahead, throw this in the car, see what it looks like. Man, this is a very tight fit. There we go. Whew. I didn't put much clearance on there. That's pretty sturdy, left to right, no movement. That's super solid. Up and down, the only movement is because the bracket's not bolted in. So, go ahead, throw the steering wheel on, and clock spring goes in first. That's it. All right, feels like I'm missing something, but we'll figure it out. There's no wires caught. All right. Feels a little high. Damn. Bracket not right. No, I was in a bind if I tried going any lower. So it's not too bad. It's not ideal. As far as seating position, seat is sitting pretty low. Windows at my shoulder. I got a solid foot above me though. Man, if I raise the seat up, maybe. Oh well, it is what it is. I couldn't get it down any further because the steering link is just getting in a bind. I hope that's not too aggressive as it sits. I don't want to turn the wheel too much because I'll tear something up. Yeah, I'm moving floor tiles. But hell yeah. Oh. That is sturdy, super solid. Got a little bit of twist if I'm frickin' trying to. I could box it in a little bit, because right now there's nothing preventing it from twisting really. Yeah, if I tied the top in a little bit or triangulated. Either way, that is super, super sturdy. Seating position, it's a little off, but I think that's a good compromise because the dash is going to be centered up. Steering wheel's off to the side a little bit. Where am I sitting? Center driver position. We're off by about 1.5 inches, but I had to do that to get it centered up on the dash, so that doesn't look dumb. But oh well. It is what it is. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Made a decent amount of progress. It took way longer than I expected. Steering rack alone took, that was a couple weeks just sorting all that out. But I'm pretty confident in that. The geometry had to change quite a bit because I moved the firewall back, moved the rack and pinion back. Steering wheel's a little high, but it is what it is. Seats bolted in. Definitely going to replace that at some point. Can't be riding factory seats. Might do a roll cage next. I've seen a lot of comments suggesting it. I want to do it. I probably shouldn't have bedlined the top and bottom of the floor, but oh well. It's nothing a wire wheel can't fix. Go ahead. Put just at least a main hoop, a harness bar, some bars tying back to the rear strut towers just to reinforce everything. I don't think I want to put like a bar coming across the windshield down to the dash or anything like that. It's not that aggressive of a car, but at least a harness bar, main hoop, you know, tying in the rear end. That'll help out a lot, make everything feel a little more safe. I'm pretty confident it's going to hold together. Not too worried about that, but a couple extra bars won't hurt at all. So I think, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'll figure it out though. I got so much to do, but we're knocking everything out a little bit at a time. So steering, seat, power. I got to start putting the dash in. I got to finish up the wiring. The harness is just sitting in here. Put the dash back in, wire up all the HVAC, run the wire harness for the engine bay, relocate the fuse panel, because factory fuse panel goes right here, all the relays and everything. So I got to figure out a mount for that. That's somewhere around here. I don't even know where it's at. I got stuff everywhere. This place is a mess. Anyway, I'll let y'all go there. Thanks for liking, subscribing, following along with the build so far. I know y'all been hanging in there. It's been taking a while, but we're getting there.